Good evening, guys. Welcome to this session. And today's session, we are going to talk about 20 colloquials, right? Collocations, sorry, 20 collocations for speaking. So let's crack it, right? Are you all ready? If you are ready, do message me on the chat. I'm waiting for you all. So if you all can hear me, just you can give me a wave, or you can just write down a hello. That would be fine, and I would get to know how many of you are here. So fine. Let people join in. And what are we going to talk about today? We are going to talk about 20 collocations in speaking for IELTS. Okay, so we are going to discuss certain words or phrases that can be used in your speaking test, right? So there are times when you feel that you want to look more impressive, or you want to talk in a way which makes you look like a native speaker. So these are certain things that these are certain words and phrases that you can use in your speaking, right? So let us just wait for people to join in, and by the time people join, let me tell you something about myself. Yes, this is Manisha Angre, an educator on Unacademy Live IELTS. That means I take paid classes, subscribe classes on Unacademy Plus platform for IELTS. I have been on Unacademy for a few months now, and you can check my special classes. If you want to join in, you can check my special classes there, get a demo of the class, and then of course you can join my classes. So why are we here on Unacademy? First, I'll give you an idea about myself. My name is Manisha Angre, that's what I said. And my promo code is ANGRE Angre. That's my promo code. As I said earlier as well, hold on just a minute. That I take classes on Unacademy Plus platform, right? So just a second. So I'll tell you why Unacademy Plus platform. Why Unacademy Plus? Of course, the question arises most of the time with people that why should we take the subscription and why Unacademy Plus? So let me tell you that the fee on this platform is extremely nominal, which I'm going to explain to you soon enough now. And it is best for professionals with busy schedules. So if you are a working professional or a student who goes to colleges and maybe school, and you do not have time to go to a particular class, to a physical classroom, then this is the best platform for you to study IELTS or any other examination, because that gives you an opportunity to study even while you're working, you are at home. Even if you're a homemaker who is preparing for ISPR but has no time from the busy schedule of being a homemaker, you can still you can still attend the classes by being at home. So there is no need to worry about that, because you can have access from any place. Fine, no physical classroom or commuting is required. You need not go to places like for homemakers. They need to take care, if they are with kids, then they have to worry about who the kids will be under the care of. So do not worry, it is right at your doorsteps. Fine. Next, recorded lectures are available for viewing at any time. Let's say you missed a session, you can always view the lectures again later with the recorded lectures that are available. Next, if you feel that you need to revise a certain topic, again you can go back to the class, watch the videos n number of time until you are subscribed. Fine. So that is one more benefit that you get on Unacademy. Another thing is unlimited hours of lectures in a day. So there are unlimited hours of lectures in a day. That means there are plenty of educators on the platform, and each educator is here comes will be able to teach you, and you will get the benefit of studying with every educator. So not just one educator, you can take help of every educator. Okay, so I see Savan here, Jagdish here, Tanu, Tamanna. Hi, hello Tamanna, how are you? So good to see you all here on this platform. Right. So this is what it is all about. Next, there are best educators and you can attend the sessions of all the educators. That's what I just said, right? So you get to attend sessions of all the educators here. And what else? So today's class, okay, and you have doubt clearing sessions and weekly quizzes. So yes, there are certain students here live on this platform. I see Tamanna who attends my lectures most of the time. She is able to do that. So I would she is another person with whom you can interact over here and get to know how we do at Unacademy. Next, okay, so that is all about it. And as I mentioned, that my code, that's what I'm going to come to in a few seconds, right? Subscription. See, many students here keep asking me what is subscription like on an academy, what are the paid subscriptions like. So special classes are for free, but then there are certain topics only. So for the rest of the topics you need to take a subscription. So what is the subscription like? So for 1 month, if you see over here, for 1 month you can take a 1 month subscription, you can take a 3 month subscription, 6 month, 12 month and 24 months. So these are different plans. As you go to, if you want to if you buy, let's say the services for telephone, so you have Idea, Vodafone and BSNL and so on. So they have various plan, 1 month plan, 3 month plan. So same thing we have over here on this platform. And I think, hold on just a minute, because my live chat is not, I can see but I cannot see. That's what happened last time too, and then I was not able to speak to a number of students out there. So just trying to check what is going on. Okay, fine. So okay, so we have a 1 month plan that is of 2,700 per month. 3 month, that is of 6,750, but that costs you 2,250 a month. 6 months plans, that is of 10,800, but that costs you 1,800 only per month. Now the best part is that even if you are looking for any plan, let's say 1 month, 3 months, 6 months and so on, and if you apply my code like this, if you go to the main page and if you apply my code ANGRE and you just press this apply, what happens is this 6,700, this is a 3 month subscription that you are seeing over here. This 6,750 will slash down to 10% discount, right? So again, you will not be paying exactly 675 will be gone from this, and of course you will be paying only around 6,100 something, right? So that is what you pay. So you get to get a 10% discount, you will have to apply the code. So if you like my classes and if you think that you should benefit from it and we all should benefit, then you should go for my subscription code. Okay, next. Okay, so that was all about Unacademy and the classes on Unacademy. So till then, is there anyone who is wishing to talk to me here? Because again, I think this has got stuck once again. Not issue, I'll just take one more, I'll refresh this once more and then I'll go on to talk about the topics. Okay, I think there is not much. Okay, so all of you, welcome to my class, and not waiting much, I'm going directly because we have just 30 minutes to cover up all, and keep answering as you can, as you find something, right? Or if you have to ask something, you can keep answering, right? Okay, so let's talk about what are collocations first. Collocations are words or phrases used informally are collocation. Words or phrases used informally are collocations, right? So what do you mean by informal words or informal phrases? Basically, these are not part of the main language, or they just came up. So nowadays you have this word slang, right? Very common now to say people that slangs. So it is actually not even a slang. They sometimes they grammatically correct, but they sound different, so they are mostly used in the spoken realm, right? So they are used in spoken realm and does sound interesting. So what happens is your speaking becomes interesting, especially the natives do use them very efficiently. So what we are going to do is we are going to learn a few of them which you can use while you are speaking with someone or you are in the speaking test. They also make you sound impressive. So if you can use them, you definitely would look your speak, or you yourself will be, sound quite impressive, right? So are we all ready? Just give me a wave or a thumbs up if you're all ready for the class. Because sometimes my live chat gets stuck and I'm not able to see who is writing what. So do write, do wave. Okay, fine. So I got this answer from Jagdish that we are ready. Okay, if you're ready, let me go to point number one. One very interesting, and I find many people speaking these days, is technically speaking. So, what is technically speaking? So when you say technically speaking, you it is kind of a filler also, you can say in your speaking, right? Nowadays people want to, when they want to say like logically or rationally, right? So when they want to say something that is happening logically or reasonably or rationally, these words technically speaking, or the word technically has become a part of many people's spoken, like in their language. So people say technically speaking, these plants at the downside of the lane lack sunshine and thus will soon disappear. So I'm trying to say that technically these plants, they don't get logically, or even what you see over here is that they don't get sunshine and thus they will wither away soon. So you can say technically speaking, this area lacks sunshine and thus is the reason for the poor the vitamin D deficiency, right? So this is how you can say. So technically speaking is one phrase that many do use, and it sounds very technical, that you speak in a very technical manner. So technically speaking, isn't that interesting? I hope so that you have understood this point. Okay, so let's go. Can you think of something? I'll just ask you for a few more times, because then I need to finish the session in the stipulated time. So I'm not going to ask many questions, but if you can, just reply. Technically speaking, if you can, just answer something. If you're not, I'll go to the next one. The next one says, on second thoughts. Now, this is a very interesting way of saying that I have another idea. Okay, let's do something else. So, when you have to say that, you can say, on second thoughts, why don't you do something like this? Okay, or you want to just say that you have another plan or you have another idea, you should say, on second thoughts. So, let me say, on second thought, going to parties with my parents would be quite a fun, right? So this should be B, right? This should be B. So on second thought, going to parties with my parents would be quite a fun, right? Would be quite fun. So that's a second thought you're giving to something that if generally the youngsters, the youth, the young adults, they would definitely not go out to parties with parents. But here there is a second thought. Okay, going to parties with my parents would be quite fun. Okay, so everything would be different then. So that is what you can say. Next, so that is all about. So do you have a second thought about how this class is going to be like right now? Yes, you can have a second thought that the class is going to be interesting. You are going to learn 20 words today, 20 phrases today that you can use in your speaking. Great, interesting. On second thought, so on second, I'm not going on the second thought and staying with my first. I'll go to the next point. The next point here is shut oneself off, right? Yes, you don't shut yourself off, you don't close yourself, right? But the meaning is to isolate oneself from other people. That is the meaning of this phrase. So do you shut yourself off? Of course, I would not like to. Definitely not. I'm not going to do that. I do not like to shut myself off in my room. I am an extrovert. I like to be with people. Why would I do that, right? So if you shut yourself off, then you are an introvert. You do not like to go out. Oh, why don't you She shuts herself off and she avoids everyone in her class or in the classroom or anywhere, you can say. So, to shut oneself off, that is what you say if you want to say that someone is an introvert and dislikes being with people. Fine. So that was point number three. Let me go and explain you the next one, that is life changing. Life changing means having an effect that is strong enough to change someone's life. Okay. So when I met my professor at college, I had a life changing experience because he taught so well that then that made me interested in everything academic. Before that, I was not so serious in academics. It can be anything, so that's a choice, right? We don't know. Maybe you did, maybe you did not. So that is completely a different, a personal experience. So a personal experience that change your life for something better, that's a life changing event or life changing experience. Okay. So I hope that we are all going together and we are all understanding what is being said. So did you have a life-changing event in your event ever? If yes, just note down in the comments. Next one, appeals to me. So whatever you understand today, whatever words I am giving, whatever phrases I am making, I am explaining here, you can write down sentences for that in the comment section, right? I'll be waiting for that, maybe now, maybe later, whenever it is convenient to you. So something that appeals to me. What appeals to you? So when do you see this appeals to me? Let's say I want to say that I like something. Of course, in IELTS you have questions on like, sentence like, right? So when you want to say that you like something, right? So you can say, oh, this appeals to me so much. So just say it appeals to me, right? That's what you can say. Let's go and understand that. I like to live in the countryside. Why? So instead of saying I like to live in the countryside, just say countryside appeals me. Now, which sentence sounds better? Of course, the second one. That sounds so interesting. So say appeals to me. So what appeals to you? What you like? Think of things or places or situations that you like the most, and then you can say, oh, that appeals to me so much. Just write like that. Okay, and just speak like that, not right, but then we are learning to speak, so just speak like that. This appeals to me. Okay, next one is I get a lot of pleasure. So when do you say I get a lot of pleasure? Something that you do. Again, you can, when you're talking about something that you like, you say I get a lot of pleasure. So if you get a lot of pleasure by doing something, okay, I get a lot of pleasure by climbing the mountains, or I get a lot of pleasure by going on a trekking, or I get a lot of pleasure when I meet my friends. So here I have a sentence, I get a lot of pleasure when I'm with my friends. Of course, many of you would get a lot of pleasure when you are with your friends, and for many others you get a lot of pleasure when you are with your family. Okay, so just write like that. Great. So good to see that students are speaking among themselves, talking among themselves. Very interesting. Great. Okay, next one. I am fond of. So when you want to say you like something, so one thing that we learned was it appeals me or I get a lot of pleasure from. Again, another way of saying I like something very much, you can say I am so fond of. I am fond of, right? I am fond of something. So you can say, I am fond of my niece. Now, again, this word can be used for people and places. So I am fond of my niece who lives in Pune, right? So you can be fond of anyone. I am fond of my Uncle Sam. Or you can say, I am fond of Manali. That is such a beautiful place, right? So you can say it that way. Okay, you are fond of music. That's great that you are fond of music. Okay, that's very nice. Next one. Okay, let's go and talk about Next one. I am fond of Singapore. I would like to visit there shortly soon. Right? So shortly, or you just want to say that let's I am fond of Singapore, or let's say I am fond of, like I just said, I'm fond of Shimla. It's such a wonderful place to go during the winters, right? Or to experience the snowfall. Okay, let's go and talk about something more. Let's say this, to put it another way. Now, to put it another way, when do you say this when you want to say the same thing again, or you want to elaborate, or you want to explain something, right? So in speaking you will be asked to speak and elaborate. So you can always use these phrases when you are looking for gaps to think of something. So India is a diverse country. So to put it another way, India is a land of religions, regions, people, culture and traditions, right? So to put it another way, you are trying to say, जैसे कि हम लोग हिंदी में बोलते हैं ना, उसका मतलब ये है कि आप elaborate करना चाहते हैं, तो आप elaborate कैसे करेंगे? आप सिर्फ इतना बोलिए कि to put it another way, it means something like this, right? So you want to change it, you want to say something more. Yes, you can say I am fond of reading. Of course, you can say that. To put it another way, education is necessary for everyone. Yes. And when you want to say the same thing, what I'm trying to say is this is another way of expressing the same phrase that we did in the previous one. So number 9, what I'm trying to say is, मतलब मैं क्या बताना चाह रहा हूँ, मैं आपको ये समझाना चाह रहा हूँ. So ये जो आप कहना चाहते हैं, that is what I'm trying to say is. So I don't find this work interesting. So what I'm trying to say is that it's monotonous and exhausting, right? So why don't you find this work interesting? Because it is monotonous and it is exhausting. तो आपने why is it not interesting उसको elaborate किया. अब देखो कितना ज़्यादा elaborate हो गया है. तो use more words, right? Use words and phrases like these. Okay, and many a times we all know them, but we don't use them. So now the task is that you start using them. So in today's class, or whenever you are here and watching this class, I would surely want you all to comment on these with your own phrases and answers. Okay. नेक्स्ट वन, इट्स एन इंटरेस्टिंग क्वेश्चन. नाउ स्पीकिंग में कभी ऐसा होता है कि शायद कोई क्वेश्चन आ गया, आपको एकदम से उसका आंसर आपको नहीं आता है. तो जब आपको इसका आंसर नहीं आ रहा है, यस, जब आपको उसका आंसर नहीं आ रहा है तो आप कहेंगे कि ओके, दिस इज हाउ यू कैन स्टार्ट. ओके, दिस इज एन इंटरेस्टिंग क्वेश्चन, और दिस इज अ गुड क्वेश्चन, or you can start like this. So obviously that will give you some time to think about the answer that you would want to give. And this is an interesting question. I had not thought about it earlier, but I think so. So this is what you can say further. Okay, next one, 11. Have lunch, dinner, breakfast and tea. Now this is actually a grammatical sentence, but I wanted to bring to you over here because many people, they would still say, did you eat your lunch or did you drink your tea? But rather you should say, did you have your lunch? You don't eat your lunch, you have your lunch. You have your dinner, you have your breakfast and you have your tea. So anything like this has to be had. So did you have, we ask like that, and we should not ask did you eat. Okay. Okay. Yes, this is a phrase for buying time in speaking. Yes, Pachu, you got it correctly. It is that. Let's go and talk about more. So buying time. See, very interesting. Pachu has come up with another phrase over here. This is the phrase for buying time in speaking. Exactly. Buying time in itself is a phrase. It's a colloquial phrase. So when you want to buy time, यानी आप अपने आप के लिए थोड़ा सा टाइम के गेम रखना चाहते हैं, तो आप ये कहते हैं. 12, bitterly disappointed. These are all collocations. Collocations are basically formed of two or three words, wherein two can be a noun, one can be a noun and a verb, the other can be a verb and an adjective, or an adjective and a noun. It can be anything. So what I'm talking about here is an adjective and an adverb. Bitterly disappointed. You disappointing is definitely negative, but you want to give an emphasis to it, then you may say bitterly disappointed, right? So my parents were bitterly disappointed when I scored so low in the test, right? यानी वो बहुत ज़्यादा नाराज थे. So bitterly disappointed. Interesting way of saying some a disappointing thing. Yes, it definitely is. Let's go and talk about something more. 13, mixed feelings. What are mixed feelings? जब आपको कभी अच्छा लग रहा है, कभी अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है. So when you have a mixed feeling, right? So Meghavi's mixed feelings for going abroad have become a cause of concern for her family. Or you can say her mixed feeling. I'm really unsure about her mixed feelings. I don't know what she's going to say next. Okay. So mixed feelings. 14th, painfully shy. Okay, when somebody is extremely shy, but then it is not very good for them, so you say she's painfully shy or she's very shy. You instead of, and again we have learned not to use the word very. So she's shy, she's quite shy, she's painfully shy. So she doesn't get out of the house anytime. She just doesn't want to put herself out of the house, and instead we have to do the work for her. So I remember in okay, I have an interesting situation to tell you, that my sister, now she has become an extrovert, but there was a time when she was an introvert and she would not step out of the house, and that time she was painfully shy because she would not go out and get even the things needed for her, and we had to do that for her. So she was painfully shy. Okay. About gender issues in my community. Oh, yes, Pachu, that is really a bitterly disappointing thing. So painfully shy. And 15th, one word. This phrase, sedentary lifestyle, can be used when you are trying to describe people don't work out, right? People spending a lot of time sitting down. So who has a sedentary lifestyle? Sedentary lifestyle, people who are who work on computers for long hours. So all software engineers, all IT guys, they have a sedentary lifestyle because most of the time, majority of the time, they are sitting in front of the computer just typing. And yes, even some homemakers who don't move out of the house. She is painfully shy to talk with her friend. Yes, of course, that is also a correct statement. Okay, so sedentary lifestyle, and avoid sedentary lifestyle and start becoming active now on. Next one is 16, to confide in. This is something that I like to speak, right? So I definitely use it a number of times. Nowadays, people have sedentary lifestyle because of technology, because the use of technology, okay? Because an overuse of technology. To confide as means to tell something secret or personal to someone you trust. So when you want to confide in someone, okay, so you can trust me. You can, when you want to say, okay, you can tell me, you can confide in me. I'm not going to tell it to anyone, right? So that is what you will say. So you can confide in me. I won't tell anyone. Okay, so I can confide in her. Okay, I can confide in my sister because I know she's not going to tell this to anyone. So confide in someone. Next one, 17th is I suppose. So when you want to, okay, when you are unsure what the answer is, right? So you can use this phrase. So I suppose we go to the railway station and try to find the luggage. So this is a suggestion sort of, but yes, it is kind of it is a word, it is a phrase that is used to make an assumption. So when you are trying to make an assumption or a guesswork, you say I suppose. So I guess so. Many of you say I guess so. So you can also say I suppose. Next one is I confide in my friend Ben. Oh, so Ben and Pachu are good friends here. Good. Next one is as far as I'm concerned. So when you want to share your opinion, right? So most of the times, in my opinion, this is very common phrase, or to say that in my viewpoint, you can say as far as I am concerned, as far as I am concerned, gender bias is as a, just because Pachu just talked about gender bias, so that just struck me. So I can say, as far as I'm concerned, gender bias should be banned, or should be there should be a law on gender bias, right? So that is my opinion. I may be incorrect, I may be correct, but that is completely my opinion. So as far as I am concerned, so if you're asking me, this is what my answer is, right? Time of air flight is 12 p.m. Yes, so you're making an assumption. True. Next one, I couldn't agree more, right? So when you want to agree with someone, right, you are asked to talk about agree and disagreements, right? Agree and disagree. So when you are asked to talk about that, and when you want to say that I agree, this is another way of saying I couldn't agree more. Okay, I couldn't agree more of Sam marrying Mary, right? So that is, I totally agree. So you can say I totally agree, or you completely agree on something. As far as I'm concerned, children should be banned from using technology. Perfectly fine. Yes, they should be banned to some extent, to certain age. Next, and the last one for the day is that's not always true. Okay, so that is used when you want to say you disagree to something. So when you disagree to something, you can say, oh, that's no. Yes, many people would say that children should be banned from using technology, but that's not always true, right? So you want to say that no, there is something beyond that. Just Paju, just don't take it too hard. I'm just trying to, that was the only sentence that came to my mind because I was just reading. So whenever you want to disagree with someone, you can always say, okay, that is not always true. People say that Gujaratis are very money-minded people, but that's not always true. They're also very kind-hearted, right? So that is how you show a disagreement. I hope that you all like the class for today, and you all would be joining me for the subscribed page very soon. And of course, now you remember my code. It is ANGRE Angre. That is also my last name. Okay, so see you soon again in my next session. Till then, let's crack it and let's just do it. So this is Manisha, and I am calling off for the day. So see you again in the next session. Till then, take care. And do keep commenting your answers in the comment boxes. I will definitely see them soon.